about this issue about being rigged? I mean, Donald Trump repeatedly warning that the political system is rigged. President Obama, in turn, dismissed Trump. He called his comments ridiculous. Listen to this, Ed.
I'm telling you, November 8th, we better be careful because that election is going to be rigged. And I hope the Republicans are watching closely or it's going to be taken away from us.
I don't even really know where to start on answering this question. Of course, the elections will not be rigged. What does that mean? That's ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense. And I don't think anybody would take that seriously. If Mr. Trump is up 10 or 15 points on Election Day and ends up losing, then, you know, maybe he can raise some questions.
Then Trump wasted no time responding on Twitter. He said President Obama should ask the DNC about how they rigged the election against Bernie. Ed, what do you think? I mean, for the president to say it's ridiculous, I don't know if it's ridiculous given what we just saw from the emails out of Debbie Wasserman Schultz and her team.
You know, I have to say, if you're running for president, you don't trash the system the way that Trump is doing it. I think, again, going back to the reason why many people are unfavorable towards Trump is because of his style, because of his brashness. Trump needs to stop campaigning to that 35% of the country that likes that style and start showing that he's campaigning to the broader audience. And just running against the system doesn't get him there.
So just to be clear, you don't think anything's rigged about the system?
No, it's not rigged in terms of the system. Are there bits and pieces
do you think Bernie Sanders got a fair shot?
I do think Bernie Sanders got a fair shot, and I think he ran a good campaign. I think Hillary Clinton ran a good campaign. You know, when you get back to this is not about is the system rigged. This is about, and this is what's going to win this election. Whoever can convince the middle class that you're going to make their lives safer and you're going to make the middle class more prosperous to bring the American dream back in their reach, they're going to get the vote. Whichever candidate does that between now and the election, railing against the system doesn't get you there. Talking about what you're going to do to bring prosperity back to the middle class, to bring the American dream back within their reach, that's the winner for this election.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I just wanted to add something, Ed, to your point. When you tell your core audience, your core voters, that the system is rigged, you're essentially, to some, discouraging them from going out and voting because, again, they throw their hands up going, my vote doesn't matter. Why am I going to go vote?
And it's no different than what the reaction was, 70% in your latest Fox poll, feeling he was wrong on going after the Khan family, rather than recognizing the contribution to the family that they had you know, he got in a fight with someone he shouldn't have got a fight in.
Yeah.
That should have been for other surrogates to push that political message. Should not be coming from the principal.
Yeah, but I wonder if people will write that off to, oh, well, we know he's not a politician. We never expected him to. So, I mean, some of his supporters and even independents out there might say, well, yeah, it was bad, but because he's not a politician.
Well, he is in a position, and this is the hard line that he is running on here, is that he is very close to, for months, people have been saying he has no filter.
Right.
If anyone starts going from that to he has no filter, but it shows the true him, he is in trouble.
Yeah.
He has to show that it runs deeper than just his immediate reaction of someone hits me, I'm going to hit back.
Here's Joni.
And my concern really, Ed, is more that we could be looking at some of our lowest turnout ever for voting. I mean, based on a lot of the polls and what we're hearing, people are saying, you know what, I don't like either candidate, so I'm not going to come out and vote. But we're still 3 months out, you know, from November 8th, and we need to think about, you know, how do we get candidates, the candidates definitely need to get their message out of what they're going to do differently to encourage people. So I'm curious, Ed, for you, like, what's your advice? What advice do you give these candidates to really get, you know, voter turnout and get people to vote for them? Because right now it seems like people are giving up. They don't want to even participate.
Well, a little bit of fluctuation in this, but it's very interesting if you look at the data from a different standpoint. Only 3% of the country like both these candidates. Normally it's about 30%.
3%, wow.
About a quarter of the electorate to 30% of the electorate dislike both these candidates. And then you have about 35% that like one and dislike the other, fairly equal in terms of those numbers. This campaign has to be run to that 30%, 25% that dislike both these candidates, that they have to, I mean, from a negative standpoint, dislike the opponent more, but more tell them a message of why perhaps you may not like me because of my style, but here's what I'm going to do for you.
Yep.
And quite frankly, at this point, watching the Hillary campaign, Clinton campaign, they seem to understand that more than what we're seeing out of the Trump campaign. They keep playing to that 35% that like him but doesn't like her.
Yep. Ed, good to see you. Thanks so much.
Good seeing you.
Ed Goeas joining us there.